Hello and welcome to my crafty corner here on YouTube. My channel is called aKnittersSoul. My name is Hello and I am coming to you from Oslo, Norway. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. It's always so lovely to have you here spending your precious time with me. And if you're new, I do hope you find something to your liking and that you hit the subscription button and the notification bell, as then you will be notified as soon as another episode has been uploaded. I want to start off with saying thank you so much to all of your kind, wonderful, sweet comments. I have laughed, I have felt emotional, I have reflected on things, and this is just to say that I appreciate every single one of you commenting. So yeah, thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's so kind of you to take the time and to do so. And also very quickly, I'm gonna mention, because this is take number, I don't know how many. I do struggle with the light today. We are living in a Nordic country, or like I am not living in a Nordic country. We are having the winter time. It is dark. I did try with the lights I had before, but I felt that everything was being blown out. So I'm gonna give it another go and hopefully it will go better. But if it gets too dark, I might have to go back to the lighting that I had. So you're hereby warned about the challenges that I have today. With that being said, I will link all the pattern links down below, everything I talk about. If I do miss out on something or you didn't catch something and I haven't written it, give me a shout out and I will help you. I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, you can find me on Ravelry as aKnittersSoul and on Instagram as aKnittersSoul, and I also have a Ko-fi account if you feel like supporting me. Yeah, let's get into this. As I said, this is take I don't know how many, so I will try to be good and not forget to mention things, as I might feel that I've said them already before. If I do, I guess I'm gonna have to do some future me and something along those lines. But let's get started. What I'm wearing today is my boyfriend's sweater by Lene Holme Samse. That sweater is from this book, which is The Heather Hill. I think it came out a year or two ago now, so I've had it in my possession for a little while. And I have looked at different designs. I have marked different designs here that I would love to make, and this was one of them. I will insert a little bit of a footage here, and if you follow me on Instagram you have already seen it, so it's nothing new. But I do love the fit of it. The pattern calls for 30 to 40 centimeters positive ease. I find that's often a little too much to my personal liking, so I do tend to go down a size or change the numbers a lot of times when it comes to those patterns. So this time around I did knit it in size extra small, and I still have quite a bit of positive ease, so you can stretch it out quite nicely, but I do feel like it fits my body really nicely. So the yarns that I've used are something that I had in my stash, plus something that I added on just so that I would have a sweater quantity. And yeah, the yarn that I had in my stash from before is this beautiful pink, which is, oh sorry, I'm showing the back side of the label. Focus, there. It's Blygeblommer by Ull Design. This is 100% superwash merino wool, and it is a fingering weight, and this is all that I have left of this. Oh, there. It's 0.6 gram out of 179 grams, I think was my starting point. So I'm super pleased with this. I used up pretty much all of it. I think this is as close as you can get. And I added on a Arvetta from Filcolana in this off-white color 101, I think it is. Yeah, because I didn't want it to be something that would take away focus from the pink yarn, because I wanted that to be the main focus. And I paired it all the way with this lace lame from Lang Yarns, which is really this really pretty kind of a slightly blushy beigey color with golden stellina in there. And if you are looking for a color number, it's on there. And I love this yarn. I think it's so beautiful. First time making acquaintance with it, I already really noticing it was when I saw another lady knitting with it on a knit night, and I just absolutely fell in love with it, and I had so many ideas. I wanted to knit something out of it, and this is where I got to use it, and I'm super happy with it. It's I love the fabric. I love how this mohair, it's not kind of like a flat one colored mohair, but I think at some points the golden stellina comes through a little bit more, and maybe there are actually some, so to say, speckles in there which give a little bit of extra dimension to the fabric of this yarn, and I absolutely love it. I love the sweater in itself with the design. I love the saddle shoulders. That's partially why I fell in love with this pattern. I do love saddle shoulders. I love the look of it, the fit of it. And also I wanted something in my wardrobe which was kind of like easy to throw on, because I do find that I have a lot of not intricate but more demanding sweater looks, and I wanted this to be more like casual, easy to throw on, and go with more things than nothing. And I think it's gonna be perfect sweater for already from now and through the summer as well, because you know Nordic summers, they don't tend to get super warm, or if they are warm in the daytime, they tend to be quite cold in the evening time. And I think this is gonna be so beautiful. I'm so looking forward to using it, and yeah, I can absolutely recommend this pattern. As I said, this is take number, I don't know how many, so I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but you can find this pattern also as a single pattern on Ravelry, and you can find it in English, Danish, German and Norwegian, I believe it is. I think so. But you can get a hold of this pattern by itself if you desire to do so, and if you don't have the book. But I would say that there's so many beautiful designs in this book that have a look at the book. Maybe you would love to own it. Maybe you can borrow it from your library, local library, because there's quite a bit, quite a few beautiful designs. So that's what I'm wearing, and I'm so happy with it. I can finally wear it now that I've shown it to you, because I've been savoring it for or like not using it until I had shown it to you here on podcast. So I can finally use it. I'm so happy with that. My second finished object is this sweater here. It is a men's size L, so it's quite big, bigger than what I'm used to knitting. Like when I knit for myself or the girls, they are about my size, so it's usually like extra small or small. So this take me more time than I thought it would do so. Oh, very quickly, this is Lofoten unisex sweater. So it is both for boys and girls. In this particular pattern, there are numbers for the men's version, but you can download the latest version online. When I had a look for this pattern on Ravelry, it did say that the free pattern is only in Norwegian and the downloadable pattern on Ravelry is in English. So if you want to make this, then you can have a look. I know there is quite a few different versions with different yarns, but in this particular case, the kit that actually my man bought himself, that had lanolin wool in there, which is Dala garn. This is a 100% wool. It's a DK weight. Super lovely yarn. And the colorways are this denim blue, which is 14.29. Then you have the off-white, which is 14.01. Then you have the charcoal. Oh, it's looking more black, but it is a charcoal. Light is difficult. This is 14.31. And the last color is sort of a yellowy green, which is the number 14.18. So those were the colors. And I must say the kit was quite generous, because I actually, when I was finished, I still had a whole ball that I have not broken into with the yellowish green. And I did also have some more blue, denim blue left that's in there, but that I've used in a different project, which I will get back to later on. But yeah, about this project, it is quite an enjoyable knit, but also quite challenging in the sense that there's quite a few rows where you have three color, you carry three colors in the same go, which it isn't in itself difficult, but it does take more focus in the sense of having long enough floats. Also, as you can see here, you know, there's quite a bit of long floats. And I think if it was something I made for myself, I would leave those floats, but I didn't want my man getting stuck in those floats and pulling them out and, you know, not being careful with that. So I did end up doing the leather back, the Jaguar leather back, whatever, that technique there. So I have caught the floats without it coming through on the other side of the fabric. But yeah, it did take me more time than I thought. It took me almost 2 weeks, which is not strange considering that it is a men's size L. But I think in my mind was like, oh, it's a DK weight and, you know, it's gonna fly up. But I was a bit worried on the 18th of December if I was gonna make it or not. So on the 19th of December, I just did this sort of a marathon knitting where I just knitted till I was finished, because I knew I needed to wash it, I wanted to block it, and I knew I needed some time for it to dry, and it did take quite a bit of time to dry. So I was glad that was done on the 19th, and he loves it, absolutely loves it, and I think the colors suit him very well. The sweater sits on him very well. He's received a lot of compliments when he's used it, and he has been savoring this sweater. Doesn't want to use it more than he has to, so that it doesn't wear out, which is very sweet of him. Because I do say, like, you know, I can always mend it, fix it, you know, whatever. But yeah, he puts it on for when it goes for special occasions, you might say. So yeah, super happy with that Lofoten unisex sweater. Then I have finished a pair of socks. These are my Hermione's Everyday Socks by Erica Luder, I believe her name is. And I have done my regular like 2 pull-up cast on. This is, oh, focus. Doesn't want to focus on the details today. Now, I've done, hello, there. I've done the tubular cast on. I have done the reinforced heel. Yeah, is there anything else to say about this? This is the yarn I think I spoke about last time, where I had dyed a skein of yarn that I had in my stash. This was a white natural, yeah, off-white. It says natural, but it like off-white white. And I dyed it with some food coloring that I had. I wanted to make like a sunset colorway, and once I'd done that, I didn't want to use it in the original plan. I ended up making these socks instead, which I'm very happy with. So yeah, pair of socks for myself. There's gonna be like happy Easter socks. yeah, the color is not color. The lighting is really, really difficult. I can see it getting darker and darker, and the lamp that I have behind here is not really doing a great job at lighting, which is a little bit sad. I might have to put on the ceiling lights, and those are definitely harsh and definitely gonna blow out everything. So I hope you forgive me, but I'm working with the northern lights. I'm sorry. Well, like not northern lights, but the Nordic darkness is more maybe what I can say it is. Let me see. I'm gonna have to put this somewhere. There. I have also finished my muscle burrow hat that I showed you last time, that I was working on last time. And this is it. Yeah. The light is not great. That's so annoying. But this is the zebra yarn that I had by Stulenstrick. Where did I put the tag now? As I said before, this is my take number, I don't know how many. And things have shifted. And I can't find it. Anywho, it is it was a yarn treasure that I had. I don't think he has the colorway in now, but it is Stulenstrick. It's the colorway purple. It is the zebra yarn. And when I showed it to you last time, I had worked on the first bit of it, the first half of it. And as I said to you, it does show, it is more stripy on screen than it is in real life. It's not as stripy. I mean, it is stripy, but not as. But then I thought I wanted to soften it, the stripe. So I actually ended up buying a bowl of mohair that I added into the second half of it. And actually that is a win-win for me. And I'll tell you why in a second. But this is my, this is the one I added. It's Tynn Kitsilkärle. Yeah. There. By Dala, and it is the colorway 4032. But it is win-win in a sense that sometimes mohairs, they can be itchy on my forehead. So I don't like particularly like yarn, like hats that have mohair on the inside. So yeah, it's kind of perfect having it just on the outside. Like a basic bright and not itch, just be warm. That's perfect. And also if I do get cold, this is one of the reasons why I kind of like the muscle burr hats. Is like I can actually pull it down and have like extra thickness on my ears when I need it and if I need it. But usually I find that these hats are warm enough as they are, so it's seldom that I do that. Mostly I use them with the slouch that I have. And when I was done with that muscle burr hat, and I didn't have many knits with me because I was in my mother-in-law's house, and I did have a couple of knits. One was the Hermione's socks, one was that muscle burr hat, and I did also have my skirt with me. But I didn't want to work on the skirt only, and we ended up staying there longer. That's the reason why I didn't bring as many knits with me. And I thought, like, and usually I bring like a whole ton of knits, and I maybe touch one or two of them. So I thought I'll be reasonable and not bring as many. But yeah, I actually finished quite a bit of things. Anyhow, I did have like a little bit of left of the purple yarn from Stulenstrick, so I decided to make the mini patini socks by Ellen Haugenbergsrønning. This pattern is only in Norwegian on Ravelry, but I'm thinking that either you can figure out this striping yourself, or you can buy it in Norwegian, because the striping, that is a chart, and that doesn't need you to understand any bit of Norwegian. So yeah, it's a perfect way of using up your minis. So I can absolutely recommend that pattern just for that, because otherwise it's a pretty simple sock. There's nothing special to it in other sense, I would say. Yeah, and as per usual, I do my tubular cast on. I love doing that. Kitchen stitch, reinforced heel as again. Can't really tell with this black yarn and the door bad lighting, but just another pair of socks that's done. I feel a little bit like I'm rushing now, and that's due to the fact that I do feel like I've been podcasting or filming for a long time now, and I really haven't. This is a new take. Sorry guys, it is what it is. But that was all for my finished objects. I have quite a few works in progress that I have not spoken about. No, I'm sorry. I'm looking at my things and I'm forgetting that I still have my skirt to talk about. Sorry. This is my skirt, my Rauma. Where's the design number? It is. Hello? Oh no, it's true. I'm done with my finished object. I'm gone over. Oh my god. This is not promising for the rest of the day. God. This is the section where we go over to the works in progress. It's true. Glitch in my brain. Sorry guys. Let's start with the skirt since I have been screaming about it now. That's my skirt. You can see I haven't steamed there because I like to steam it from time to time. So here's steamed, and there's not steamed. It's a bit of a difference. But as you can see, I have actually made quite a bit of a progress. This is the skirt by Rauma, which is from their magazine or pamphlet, or yeah, 246 R Lady, I think it is. This is where I was last I spoke to you. So I have made quite a bit of progress. This is more like keeping another progress for my progress, like so that I can see what I have done in a day or an evening, or yeah. And I have actually come to the point where I'm gonna start with decreases now. So it's not much left now. I'm hoping that maybe by next time I have it done. Maybe not. I'm not sure. It is quite I mean, it works up quite fast. But I did make quite a bit of progress on this due to the fact that I didn't have many knits with me and projects with me when I went for my Christmas break. So yeah, but I do hope I'll get it finished. It would be nice. And I'll just very quickly show you that original one is there. I also love these colors. I think they're so pretty. And I have thought about making more of these skirts because I think they're pretty, but I would need to finish this one and see how I feel about it once it's on, because there's always a difference between having something on and knitting on something. But the yarns that I'm using is this Methera, which is this one there. Beautiful yarn. This was a gift to me. This is the blend of it. Beautiful yarn. Absolutely love it. And it fits perfectly with my tiny little cone of finull in black. This is Rauma. And yeah, what more is there to say about it? Don't think there's really much more to say about it. I know I've spoken about my stitch markers before, and they have saved me on so many occasions, because when you're working on a repetitive pattern, sometimes it can be so mindless that you actually kind of get lost in your thoughts, and suddenly you've done something you're supposed to be doing. And it's nice to go quickly back and see where the mistake was made, or you can easily spot mistakes. Can recommend the pattern, can recommend the yarns. Yeah, don't think there's much more to say about this. Hopefully be done by next time. I hope. I'm not promising anything. And it's living in my, what's it called those again? In my bag, basket bag. Really nice to have it in there, as it is quite big. So I'm gonna talk about, I can do another muscle burrow because I have cast on another one, just because it's nice to have something to grab and go. So another muscle burrow by Soldotna. And it's not as gray or not as pale. It's more of a, I would say more of a greenish bluish color, like aqua color. It's more depth to it. Color is difficult in this light. I'm sorry, you guys. But the colorway, I think this is the right color, like the right yarn and the right tag. They were a little bit separated, but oh no, this is not the right tag. I've taken the wrong tag. Anyway, I think this is Garnfene, which is correct. That's the one. But the colorway, I believe, is Paradise, which is this sort of beautiful bluish color with lighter and darker sections, and with some maroony, red, brown, yellow speckles in there. Greenish colors as well. There's a lot of things happening. So yeah, another muscle burrow on my needles. Really nice to have, to grab and go. And I was thinking, I was watching a podcast. I was watching Needles at the Ready. It's two wonderful sweet guys, Ray and yeah, my mind is blanking now. I will write it there. I think they were talking about the fit of the muscle burrow, and that they had received, I think, from somebody else as a gift, a muscle burrow as a gift, and that fitted really nicely, and maybe better than the ones that they had knitted themselves before. And I have thought about what they said, and I think at one point I thought the same thought, but I think what we need to take into account is that when we measure our head and the hat size, sometimes I think it would be better to have a little bit of negative ease instead of having exact fit for the size, so to say. Like if it says 55 inches, then you don't go for 55 inches. No, not 55 inches, 55 centimeters. Sorry, 55 inches, that's a huge head. Massive head. That's like yeah, never mind, 55 centimeters. And then maybe take off 2-3 centimeters from that size and like knit that size instead, and then you maybe get a better fit. That would be my tip with a hat. It's like better to have a negative. It's the same like with a sock. You want to have, you're better off having a little bit of negative ease and having a lot of positive ease, because they tend to sit better on your feet. And yeah, let's go for next. Am I all over the place? Probably am. The next one has come on my needles, also something that was not planned for, but I have thought about this yarn for a long time. I wanted to knit from this yarn for a long time, but there's a but to this. I had two of these beautiful yarn skeins here, which is this Opal Sunrise, and particularly like this colorway. And I've shown this to you before. I think I've spoken about it before, and I absolutely loved it. And I had 2 balls of this yarn, which means 200 grams of this beautiful yarn. And I thought, like, well, if I make 1 pair of socks of them or 2 pair of socks of them, that's gonna become so boring. I didn't want to make many socks of the same kind. I need change. So even though I love to knit vanilla socks, and that's pretty much the same, the variety comes from changing the colorways, the yarns, you know. That's where the fun for me at least comes from. Plus that I do love just a simple vanilla sock. Then I started thinking that, oh, maybe that would be fun to make a scarf. And that's what this burrito is. I am making a scarf for my brother. And actually, this is gonna go on for quite a bit of... I'm almost at the point where I'm like, that's enough. Because you can actually get it around your neck twice and almost have enough length to go over your shoulder, or like however you want to wear it. I do like, you know, when the scarf goes a little bit of over your shoulder and a little bit down on your chest, because then it tends to sit better, or gives you the chance of making a knot of sorts. And I must also mention that I'm holding the the opal, together with a strand of fabel from Drops in this cornflower color, which is 116. Because I wanted to sort of dampen the stripes but still have the colors, and I thought that would be a perfect match. And I still have not mentioned the pattern, I realized. It is a free pattern by Pearl Soho, which is the Fisherman's Rib Scarf. So super simple. You get the beautiful squishy texture. It's super squishy, and it's lovely. And I do love how these two yarns play together, because you still see the striping of this yarn, but it's softened down quite a bit. My plan was also that I would add in quite a bit of this opal blue, dark blue yarn. It's not showing off really well now, is it? But this is quite a bit darker than this fabel yarn. And my plan was to do the beginning and the end of the scarf with this lighter one, and have a darker section a bit in the middle, so to kind of have even darker, moodier, kind of more subdued color on the scarf. And I did knit in a little bit of a section of that, but actually I do like you can't really tell, but I do like the lighter ends better than I do with the darker. Let me see if I can have them next to each other, like the difference of, can you tell? No, you cannot tell. All of that to say that I wanted to use some stash yarn, make a fun scarf for my brother. He does like colors, he does use colors, so I think it's gonna be fine with this beautiful blue and some spots of orange coming through, and a little of a beige stripe as well. And my plan is as well, like once I'm done with this, I have about like 20-30 centimeters I think to go. Or did I knit some of that already? I think I have 20 centimeters to go till I'm like happy. I know it's probably gonna grow some in wash as well, so I'm not gonna make a crazy length to it, but I will make it long enough so it's not gonna be too short, but because that's just annoying if you ask me. But my plan is that once I'm done with that scarf, I'm gonna knit him matching socks. So I have already cast on 2 toes. There they are, 1 and 2. I did the Turkish cast on, so super easy start to this. And I'm thinking that I will try to knit as much as I can out of this, and if this is not enough, like after finishing the scarf, and I will add in some of the blues. I also have some orange that would match perfectly. So I'm not expecting him to wear the socks and scarves at the same time, but he can if he wants to. But I'm also, when I'm mentioning his socks, I'm following a pattern that's called Vanilla Sock with Gusset and Choice of Heel by Joe Tor. Yeah, there's no pattern there. I guess I'll just show you the name, because the picture doesn't really show you much. The reason why I chose to do this is because I want to try a gusset heel from toe up that I have not done before. So I'm curious on trying out that, because I do prefer gusset heels, even though I love my shadow wrap heels. I've spoken that about quite extensively, because it was one of you who suggested that I might like the shadow wrap heels, since I found that the regular German short row heels were usually too tight around my wrist. So yeah, I want to try out a gusset heel going from toe up that I have not done before. So if you have any great patterns for that, or have good experiences with that, I would be really glad to hear from you, because I'm here to learn and get some tips and advice, because that's always super welcome. So yeah, that's old stash, making use of it, enjoying that, like shopping in my own stash. That is super enjoyable. And then I actually have only one more working project left that is active. I have several that are not active. I have a couple works and projects that are almost becoming UFOs, and I have a plan of picking up and finishing them or working on them at the least. And one of those is my blanket, and I'm blanking on the name on it, or the technique of knitting. Oh my god, not good. But I also have a cardigan, which is the summer knit along, which I want to work on and get it done. I am starting to get like ideas and how to finish, so need to do that. I also have a sweater that's been like dormant for 2 years now, so it's time to add on those sleeves that are missing and get it done. So, but without further ado, my last finished object, which just got stuck on a basket here, is my Soldotna. And this is her. Doo-doo! And this is where I'm saying that those colors from my man's sweater are coming back into use, or where I used up some of the denim blue that I had left and some of the yellowy green there. The Soldotna is by Caitlin Hunter. It's by no means a new pattern. I think it's from 2019 or something. Yeah, 2019. So it's quite an old pattern. I've been wanting to make it for a long time. I almost started on a version in autumn, but then realized that I wasn't a good friend with llama yarn either, unfortunately. So it was back to the drawing board. And a week ago or so, I just suddenly started thinking that I have this beautiful lanolin wool by Dala, and I had a sweater quantity because I had bought it to make another sweater, which I never did make. I don't remember why I changed my mind, but I had bought these two colorways in this lanolin wool. This is like a white, bleached white, and the numbers are 1438, and the navy blue is 1437. So it's not as light, it's more like this dark where I have my fingers at. It's more of that color, and yeah, the white is white. The white is doing what it's supposed to do. And yeah, I sat down, I drew the schematic for the colors into XL and color coded like every single square of it, so that I could switch around the colors easier by just doing like a replacement of formatting. And this is what I ended up with. I had a pretty clear idea going into how I wanted to do. I think I just did one little change at one point in here, like how those straps would be, but I'm super happy with my colors. And also, as you see, it's neither cropped or short sleeved as the original one is. I have also opted out of the lice on other spots, lice on the body and sleeves. Well, body really only, because she has it only on her body since there's only short sleeves on her version. But I absolutely love this. I think it's so pretty, and I was like trying it on and showing to my man, and he just went to the cupboard and pulled out his sweater, put on his, and like, you know, we were matchy without being matchy. Because this one is picking up his sweater's color so pretty, so nicely. And those two together are just really nice. And I'm finally getting me my own Soldotna, which I've been dreaming about for such a long time, but just never could decide on the colors or a yarn, or if I found the yarn, or like, I've had yarn in my stash and I have had plans. I have started on before on trying to color in and trying to do some color placement and whatever, but never just sort of really landed until this came along, this palette, and I love it. I was kind of thinking about using this off-white that was in my man's sweater instead of the white, but there was two reasons why I didn't do that. One was that I didn't know if I had enough. I was kind of guessing I didn't, which I'm glad I did, so I like think so, because I wouldn't have had enough. But also the other reason why I opted for the white was because I wanted the colors to pop, and I do feel like by adding that white, that the yellow green and the denim blue are popping. So yeah, this is absolutely a pattern I can recommend. I have opted for knitting sleeves down quite straight, like up to this point there, where you see the stitch markers, and here I've done quite a rapid decrease, you might say, and I have just finished the ribbing. Oh, there was no light now there. I've just finished the ribbing. I've just done the 2 setup rows for Italian zone bind off, so that's what I have left on that one. And here I am almost at the I need to do a couple more decreases. I have 3 decreases left, as you can see, because there's 3 stitch markers. Ooh, the camera doesn't know where to focus because I'm like shaking everything around. I just came to think I did do a little bit of a change with this pattern, not a huge, but I shifted around the stitches a little bit, because after dividing for the sleeves and starting to knit on the body and a little bit of a sleeve, I felt like the sleeve was a little too snug for my liking. And also because this is a wool yarn, and it's supposed to be a piece that I can put over things, not it being kind of like super snug on everything that I have on. I did rip back, and also I started to decrease on the body. I have done decreases now as well, but I ripped back. I added some few more stitches from the front and the back into the sleeves, so I got the width that I desired. It wasn't many stitches to do, or like it didn't take many stitches to receive or not receive, to, oh my god, words, to get the result that I desired for. So I think I added on only 3 stitches from the body. And I also, when I went to pick up for stitches under the sleeve, I added on 2 extra stitches there as well, so that I wouldn't get any holes in between, like the middle bit. Okay, this is how am I gonna explain this? The thing what I do is, like, once I'm done with the body, or like in this case the yoke, when I was done with the yoke and I was dividing for sleeves and the sleeves, when I get to the bit where you are going, like, really hard to show, but when you're going from one, like your stomach, like front to the back, and you're supposed to like cast off stitches, I don't cast off stitches. I create new stitches as I go straight away, both for the sleeves and for the body. And pretty much what I do is I do the Turkish cast on, like under the sleeve, like under here, I do a Turkish cast on. So I have the stitches both for the body and the sleeves at the same go. And so when I go to knit the sleeves, that's where I pick up 2 extra stitches between both of those stitches that I created with this Turkish cast on, so I wouldn't get holes, in addition to doing a twisted knit stitch, so that it would also close and like even more. And I find that that creates a nice, I was gonna say dense fabric, but not dense fabric, but more closed stitches, so I don't get gaping holes under my sleeves, which I need to sew in or do anything particular with as an aftermath of that, so to say. I hope that made sense. If not, reach out to me. I will try to either find a tutorial for you, or maybe I'll film myself one. But I find at least that way, I like once I go to knit the sleeves, all the stitches are already there. I don't need to stop picking up or doing any adjustments as such, and I really enjoy doing that. I heard of it first, or learned from it from a Norwegian podcast, which is Toretto and Vrang, and Kari Anne has made a tutorial in it, but I think that's in Norwegian. Quite sure it's in Norwegian. And if you need an audio to it, then that's not gonna be a great tutorial for you, even though she does show what she does. And yeah. Anywho, my last working project, I'm quite sure that I'll be done with it either tonight or tomorrow at the latest. But this is her. Also, what I want to say about my knitting is I'm trying to be mindful and knit out of my stash. Both in regards of using my stash that I already have, because I have several sweater quantities which I want to make something out of, and I have actually plans for quite a few of those sweater quantities. So I want to make use of the patterns that I already have and the yarn that I already have. It's not to say that I want to use up my stash or I need to get rid of my stash. It's more that being mindful and supporting my wallet. Because I do like to support small makers and local yarn shops, but I also need to support my own wallet. That's one part of it. But the second part of it is like, I have so much beautiful yarn. I have so many beautiful patterns. So why not make something out of them? This thought has kind of been there before as well, and I have been like semi-good at kind of following that. But this year I actually thought I'll make it into a resolution of sorts. It doesn't mean that I'm not allowed to buy any yarn. It doesn't mean that I'm not allowed to buy any patterns. It's more like having a focus on using what I have, making what I already have planned to make, instead of being like, ooh, pretty, shiny, go, buy. Because I am easily, oh god, I lost the word now. I'm easily, yeah, can't think of the word. Shiny, go. I can't think of, I lost the word and it's not coming back to me. I'm trying to think of it in Norwegian and it's not coming there. I'm not going to attempt in Estonian because that's something that's the language I don't use as a lot, so that's even harder. Anywho, what I am trying to say is I'm trying to be mindful. I'm trying to add all of my yarns into Ravelry because that helps me to have an overview of the yarns that I have. I'm also trying to be, and I have done that as well, blah 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 blah. I'm also trying to be good at adding my library into the library of Ravelry. What I mean with that is like, if I buy a book, I'd like to add it into Ravelry, or if I have a booklet, I add it to Ravelry, because I discovered here, it must have been winter time of sorts. I was looking for patterns for inspiration, and I clicked on the little tick on Ravelry which says in my library, and I realized I had so many more patterns that I actually really liked, which I didn't realize I had. How is that possible? Well, one example would be that I bought this booklet because I wanted one particular pattern. And that is kind of the pattern that stuck in my mind, and I've kind of forgotten about the rest of them. So when I was doing this search in library, I found this really, really pretty sweater, and I thought, I want to make that. So that brings me back to, I want to knit from my stash because I have beautiful stash. I love my stash and I want to make use of it, and thus supporting my own wallet. And second of all, I have so many beautiful patterns that I want to make use of that I've forgotten that I have in my stash or in my library, because there's always something new, pretty, shiny to buy and, you know, add on top of everything else. So yeah, I'm actually thinking that if this is like not planned for, but I'm thinking that I gonna take a cue from a Norwegian podcaster that I follow as well, who has knit from your library, kind of a knit along, which means that all the patterns that you have purchased before the 1st of December, no, not December, 1st of January of 2025, anything that's in your library from before that date is eligible. And I'm thinking I'm gonna run it for 5 months, so that when summer comes and you wanna buy in like summer yarns and do summer things, you're welcome. Well, you're welcome to do it anyway, but if you wanna do a sort of a resolution knit along with patterns from your library, with yarn from your stash, that's gonna be extra points. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, I'm all over the place. Forgive me. I'm thinking there's gonna be 2 parts to that knit along. I'm taking a cue from Heidi and her knit along and saying that patterns from your library that I purchased from before 1st of January 2025 are eligible for winning prizes. But also if you use stash, like yarn that's purchased before the 1st of 1st 25, you can add like a second post in the same finished object thread. So you'll be eligible, well, that's gonna be like 2 tickets to be like drawn out to win something. So you can put in the same picture, or I don't know how that thread works, but you can at least put in it twice. If you have to maybe put in a different picture, that's, I'm not sure. I would have to kind of have a look at it. But yeah, you can put it in twice if you have both stash yarn and if you have, so to say, stash library, like old library patterns, put them in there. Let's do that. Come along, knit with me, and we're gonna do this for 5 months, I'm thinking. So you get, well, not 5 months, till the end of May. That's gonna give you 4 months. Isn't that quite good? Is it too short? If you think it's too short, write me a line and I will extend it. But I'm thinking maybe it's nice to go into summer with new knit-alongs. I don't know. But come join with me on this journey of enjoying our stash and enjoying our patterns and making use of what we already have. Right? It was kind of planned but not planned, so I hope this made sense. Anyhow, if you're still here with me and you want to know about my acquisitions, then stay along for a little longer. I have a little bit of yarny stash. I have a couple books, not stash, I have acquisitions. I have a little bit of fiber. Yep, you heard me. Correct. And I have some gifts that I've received. I might actually mention those gifts first because they are super sweet, super kind, and absolutely not expected, but very much appreciated. The first one would be Anabelle crop by Olga Putano designs. That is something that I've had in my Ravelry queue for ages as well, and I have looked at it and I have admired it and I have desired it, and one of you beautiful viewers actually gifted it to me now for Christmas, which I'm super grateful for. And I have already started to think that I think I might want to knit it out of through the wardrobe, this sort of pale minty blue, which is not showing off. It's looking almost white on the screen. Oh, that's so sad. But I'm thinking maybe that together with this sort of a denim-y blue color, which is from a Christmas Advent by Fortuna. Or maybe I have also another blue, sorry about the noises. I have another blue here, which is by Hättestrick. Oh, my wall is falling apart. I also have this one here, which I think is super, super pretty. Which is Spring 23 blue. And it is a blue, it's a beautiful, like a sky blue. Focus on that, with some speckles of green in them. Super, super pretty. Oh, that's a good one. It's getting a little bit blown out. Oh, what's happening with my hair? So yeah, that is one design that I was gifted, and I'm so looking forward to figuring out the colors. I do like her original colors, but I'll see if I like how I can make it my own and how I can love on it, so to say. Also, I was gifted socks by Målfrid, who has her own knitting podcast here, which is Maramsuen. I had to think there for a second. And those socks are called Systersocken. Very pretty socks with nice texture going on and cables, and yeah. I will also do I'll like make an attempt on translating these socks. So for now they're only in Norwegian, but hopefully in not long do they will be also in English, but that's yet to come. So per today they're just in Norwegian. And I was also gifted a shawl pattern by Gro Tveitstøl, which is called Sunniva shawl. Very, very pretty shawl. That is also something I am looking forward to casting on. This is a design by Gro herself. Yeah, pretty design. I think I haven't looked properly at it, but I think it's like you can make do with 100 grams. So it's kind of like, you know, your Sophie scarf or your Hope scarf, where you start off with a narrow end, you increase to where you are like halfway in your skein, and then you just decrease again. And it's very beautiful lacy structural kind of shawl. And also, once we're talking about Gro, I had a gift from her for Christmas, which was so sweet of her, and it's this shawl here. It's actually quite correct colors for once, strangely enough. I have looked at her Ravelry project page. This is Garnfene Lollipop, and this is Sanne's Sunday color 8733. Look at those beautiful feathers there. And it sits so nicely. I mean, like when you wrap it around you, you get such a nice, like, look at this, so pretty. Ooh. It's so much harder when you're doing it on camera than you do it in front of a mirror. But look how pretty that is. It's so pretty. And I have found out that this pattern is called Feather Scarf by Sanne Fjalland. And I'm realizing now that I haven't checked if it is in Norwegian, if it is in English, I do not know. Probably is in Norwegian, thinking due to the name. But if I'm incorrect, I'm sorry. I will correct myself on the screen. So thank you, Gro, for this beautiful, beautiful scarf. I kind of want to make it myself as well, like a knit version of it myself. So pretty. I love those. Ooh, I love the edging. It's so pretty. It'll be fun to try to knit those. So those for gifts. I mean, I have more gifts, but I'm gonna put them into the acquisition section. So if you're not interested in that bit, then thank you for being here and tagging along with me for a long time. It feels like. And you're so welcome to come back another time. But if you want to see my acquisitions, then stay along. I will show you some, not all. Actually, before I go into the fiber, I'll show you 2 books. This book I spoke to you about, I think last time actually. I had put in a pre-order. This is the Joyful Colorwork Socks by Charlotte Stone. And it's packed with really fun patterns, and I have marked off some of them, but I really could show you every single pattern of them. Like the kitty cat socks on the front. I mean, hello, who doesn't like kitties? And then I have also marked off, like I said, that's pretty much the next sock, which is like, look at this, kiss a frog. How fun is that? And on a second note, once I'm showing you this picture, I want Wellington woolly boots, rubber boots, Wellingtons that are see-through, so I can show my beautiful socks. Can anybody point me in the right direction? And let's look at these pretty fishes. And that's also a thing, like if you're apprehensive about working colorwork socks, you can always just do the colorwork on the cuff and leave the foot. But I'm thinking before I'm gonna do any of these, I wanna make myself this baddie for Halloween socks because they were so cool. Look at these little ladybugs. I mean, I could pretty much show you every single design in here. This is so pretty. And then you have these flowery socks. Yeah, and you got some skulls, and you got hearts, and you got the gnomes and dots and watermelons. So many beautiful designs. I'm looking forward to trying them out. And also I bought myself this book here. So this is sewing. This is not knitting, as you see. This is a book I wanted to own for a very long time. There's a lot of like really pretty designs, and I'm trying to become more brave again when it comes to sewing. I used to be quite brave. I sewed myself dresses, I did things, I've sewn knitting bags, project bags, but suddenly, I don't know, I kind of lost, what's the word for it? I just don't believe in myself, I guess, enough to... I've just seen so many prolific sewers and makers. I mean, this one has been really popular. This is definitely one that I want to try. I even bought like jelly rolls a while back to make this out of, because I don't have that many scraps. But yeah, I never got around it, because if you borrow it from the library, there's often like a really long queue waiting for the bags. Or like for the bags, for the book. And I need time to kind of process and plan and do, and yeah. But the funny thing with this book is that this is coming all the way from Switzerland. Yep, you heard me correctly. I mean, look at this. It's so pretty. This book has been out of stock, or like it hasn't been in the print for quite a few years. But I found this book in Norwegian in Switzerland. So I had to have it. And yeah, this is the shop. I think it's Switzerland. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm sorry if I am. Definitely super happy with getting hold of this book, because I have actually borrowed it twice from the library. And I always feel like I have too little time to explore that book or enjoy that book. With that being said, we are going over to what is both gift and acquisitions, but I'm gonna call it acquisition since it's fiber related. There are quite... I mean, yeah, I don't even know where to start. I guess I can do the yarn first, that is actually yarn, and do the fiber afterwards, because I went to a knit night Was it after I had podcasted, I believe? I think it was the last podcast, not podcast, the last knit night before Christmas. And so I went there to Garnfene, and I did have a plan of not buying anything. But then I saw these, and they are blowing out super, super bad. They're not as bright and not as warm in the color. They're more like a cool reddish tone. It's, I want to say almost like this color there, because this is definitely not correct color. I would say they are kind of like a raspberry mixed with cerise kind of pinkish color, if it makes any sense. Really pretty, and it was kind of like a one of a kind. It wasn't something that they were making. They don't have it in the stock, and I liked it as much, and I thought that, oh, if they're not gonna have it again, I'm gonna have to have it, because everything else, you know, I could buy at another time. But if this is not coming back, I don't want to miss out on a chance of getting these. So I picked up these 2 50-gram skeins with this color. It doesn't even have a colorway name, I think. No, it's just this pretty. I'm trying to see, like, no, it's looking too yellow. It's not as yellow for sure. Anywho, I also fell in love with this colorway from Mille Colori, which is Lang Yarns, and oh, that's actually showing up quite correctly. Maybe not as, oh, this is a bit, okay, that's better. It's so pretty, so beautiful. I love the greens in it. I love the yellow in it. I even enjoy the purple in it, even though I'm not huge on purple. But I did get 3 of them, so I can actually make a bigger project out of this if I feel for it. Then I'm thinking I also bought some Sisu sock yarn from Sandnes, which I have put summer and not brought along with me. It is the color Kit, and I was thinking of I used to knit quite a bit out of Sisu and Smart and all these yarns from Sandnes, but for some reason they have kind of fallen to the back seat. So I want to kind of reintroduce them into the in my stash and try to knit out of them again, because I was looking at the composition of Sisu, and I believe that was like a woolly wool with nylon, and it is a fingering weight, so I'm thinking that would be perfect for socks, because I do love the woolly wool yarns over the merino yarns. But that's me and my preference. So it's not to say that there's something wrong with any of the other yarns, because it's not. Yeah, and then that was actually it for yarn purchases since I saw you last, which is not bad, I would think. But that's because I've been shopping in my own stash, which has been healthy for my economy, my wallet. But before Christmas, I kind of jokingly said to my man that I would like a eel wheel, spinning wheel, eel wheel. Thinking that he would never do that because it's quite expensive. I mean, I said that and other couple things, and he started hinting quite early that, oh, but you're gonna know what you're getting. Oh, you know what you're getting. It's so boring. Oh, you know what you're getting. So I'm thinking, did he really do that? Did he really get me a spinning wheel? Can it be? So I thought, just to be on the safe side, I would order myself some fiber in case I do get a wheel. So I ordered from Ulveig a little bit of different kind of beautiful fiber. I mean, look at this, pretty. This is like this pastel colors. It's quite right on the camera, but not totally. Oh, it's I'm trying to see. It is Cormo. The base is Cormo. Quite correct on the camera, not 100%, but quite okay. This is one of the better ones. And this one is Polworth. I'm trying to think if I bought that one, or did my man got this one actually? No, I think I got this one only, and then I got another one which was, gosh, do I have it here? Corriedale, not Corriedale, in white, which I actually have, which was my first attempt at spinning up, and it's looking raggedy rag because I didn't have all the tools and knowledge, but this is what I made out of it. So I don't have a fiber to show you, but I have my thick and thin kind of, not super great, but my first attempt. Because I did want to have something as like a unicolor that was not like something very, very special that I ruined at my first attempt. So this is like a white Corriedale, or like off-white Corriedale. Not super great. Do not look at it so greatly. And then I got so much from a man that I was absolutely blown away. Super grateful, but yeah, blown away with how much he gained. So yeah, this was the Polworth. I don't think there's a colorway. It's just this sort of pretty, not as bright as it looks on the screen, but it is yellows and oranges and purples. So it's a softer color than it looks like on the screen. And he also gave me, this is also Cormo, which is more like a fade. Also not as bright, it is much softer. It's more like a rustic orange, rust orange, than it is this bright orange. So it's blowing out on the camera, unfortunately. And this is like, not, okay, no, not this one. I'll show you this one as well. No, this is not the one. There's another Corriedale. No, this is actually, these I got myself because I thought it would be fun to have like one colored Corriedale, because I reached out to, oh my god. Yep. I put it on the screen. I reached out to a spinner podcaster to hear from with her like what fiber she would recommend to a new spinner, and Corriedale was one of them, I think. So I bought that. But I also got, and this is kind of scary because this one has silk in it, so I imagine it's very slippery kind of thing, but it is 80% Shetlands wool and 20% Tussa silk. It's called the Sea Swirl. Yeah, there. So it is sort of this, yeah, actually it shows quite nicely. You have some beige in it, blue in it, green in it, so it's really pretty. But that's kind of scary because I'm thinking silk must be really slippery. And then this blend of rosewood. Oh no, not blend of rosewood. The color is rosewood, sorry. Rosewood red. It's 50% merino, 25 Shetland wool, and 25% Bayan Island, which I don't know what it is, but it's this beautiful, beautiful red color in there. And the last one is this bamboo, which is called Lily, and it is this sort of a tealy green, which you really can't tell. I do not want to take it out of the package. Yeah, nothing else helping now with the lighting that I have. So I guess I'm gonna send out like a smoke signal to my spinning friends, or for my knitting friends that spin as well, like help. I need some guidance. Because I have spun a little bit. I have spun some more, but I don't know where I put that. I couldn't find it now when I started podcasting. So I have tried. I have watched some videos, some tutorials, but I do feel like it would be nice with some of you, hello, to help me even more with getting started and getting good results. I know practice. That's my another resolution, if I can call it that, for this year, is learn to spin. So what's keeping me back from spinning more now is that I want to savor those really beautiful, colorful fibers, so that I can make something beautiful, and like beautiful yarn, not make something beautiful out of them, but make beautiful yarn out of them. So I'm savoring them till I have a better understanding and feeling, and whatever I need to learn before tackling those. So yeah, hello, reach out to me. I would love to sit down with you and spin a little and learn a little bit more. That would be fun. So I think that is all for my ramblings about my crafty things. And I have no clue for how long I've been speaking here now, because I've had to change my battery on the camera twice. So I would think it's quite a bit of rambling. But also because I have recorded and re-recorded, I've kind of lost a sense of time in regards of how long it is. Anywho, yeah, that's it for the fiber bit. I can talk maybe just a little bit about what's been going on with me. So yeah, for Christmas we traveled to my mother-in-law's house, or my man's childhood house, in mid-Norway. And we were supposed to be there for just a couple of days. We ended actually up being there until the 29th of December. And the only reason we really came back on the 29th of September was that I managed to get an infection in one of my teeth. So I actually ended up in the ER on the 23rd of December, and being in a small place that you are, you know, that's pretty much where you can go with your toothache. And they just subscribed me. I got a prescription for really strong pain relievers, which kind of did help me, but yeah, it wasn't fun. That took a lot of energy, unfortunately. Colored my Christmas in that sense quite a bit. But Christmas Eve was fun. We had the girls come over for Christmas lunch, and we spent time with them for quite a bit of time before they went back to their mum's house and their grandparents' house. So then it was just me and my man, and we ate the traditional Christmas food, and we played some games and opened some gifts, and it was a very pleasant evening. I mean, we made the best out of it, just the two of us, him and I. And we had always spoken about coming back for the New Year's Eve here in Oslo. So, but yeah, I probably, if I didn't have the problem with my tooth, we probably would have stayed over the New Year's. But because I really needed some dental health, yeah, I needed to come back earlier so that I could book myself an appointment on the 30th of January, and not have to wait even more days in order to be able to do anything with the situation. The sad thing is that that the tooth I got problems with was the tooth I had actually fixed at the beginning of December, and yeah, something went wrong somewhere, and the infection was there, and yeah, root filling and everything. Not fun. And actually, I worked myself so badly up when I was going to the dentist appointment. Like, I had been there, and he'd taken pictures, and he's like, you know, I can't do anything with you now. You're gonna have to be on a penicillin cure for 5 days, and then you'll come back, and then we'll start the procedure of root filling. So yeah, when I went for the appointment where he was actually gonna drill and do things, I was so worked up and so not in a good place, because I'd been in so much pain and agony for such a long time that I was really not looking forward to that appointment. But he took things really slow, and he, so to say, took me by word, and he talked me through whatever he was doing, and helped me to feel at ease and not be too stressed out. And it was fine. It was perfectly fine. It was just me. It was absolutely worked up from my own fears and worries and whatever. And also, what else have I done? Oh, I was so fortunate that I was invited to a 50-year birthday, and that was really fun, because we were 5 knitters like one of them the birthday kid, and then 4 other people whom I know some, and one I didn't know at all, but I got to know her a lot because we drove from Oslo down to Telemark, which is further south from here, a couple of hours drive, and we sat and we knitted for more or less 2.5 days, I guess, or like 2 days in total, because we arrived on Friday evening and had the full Saturday, and then left on Sunday afternoon. And yeah, on Saturday we had the birthday celebration, which was nice, really, really nice. The birthday kid, she is a prolific knitter. She also has a podcast here on YouTube, but she also dances, which is really, really fun. So to see her in her element in so many ways, like one is being knitting, but also see her dancing, was really, really fun. And the evening was great, I must say. It took a little time before the different groups of people kind of mingled, because it was very much of a like division between the knitters, the dancers, the neighbors, the family kind of thing. But no, we had fun. There was some the bird dance, and you had the Macarena, and you got the Yenka, and we did all kind of like the chair game. I don't know if it's called that in English, but well, you walk around the chairs, and when the music stops, you have to find yourself a chair, and for every time there's less chairs and less people. And also like the dancing game, once the music stops, you have to be still. And I thought, I'm gonna nail that, it's gonna be easy peasy. But I was one of the first ones to actually fall out of that game, because I stopped a dance move midway on top of my heels. So there was no saving that move. Like, I could not stop the move. So I was out quite early. I was overly confident. But in the chair game, I made it to the 3rd place, so almost on the pedestal of winning that game. So I'm glad. So it was a fun night. We went out with a bang, in the sense that 0000 midnight, the alarm sensor was activated. So yeah, there was full alarm, and luckily, when we went from the room that we were celebrating in, it was sort of, I think it was a school kind of scene. What's it called? You have like the theater scene, kind of like, words are lacking now. Anyway, the alarm came on at 000, like midnight. But we could go out in the hallway. Luckily, it wasn't as bad there. And after a little while, like us calling around, trying to reach right people, they came in 2 handsome firefighters who fixed the alarm, and they extended the alarm, I think, with another hour. So we had enough time to clear out whatever we need to clear out, and yeah, leave the location nice and clean. And also that night, it was minus 18 degrees Celsius, so it was quite cold. And we were all traveling by the same car, and the car wouldn't start. So suddenly we're like, uh-oh, we don't have that much time. We have to leave the location for the birthday party. But the car isn't like starting, so we had to get starting cables, and luckily the car came to life, and we filled up the car with whatever we had brought with us, and and also we had to be very mindful driving back, because there was a lot of elk on the road, so be really careful. Look, we could see signs of them like here and there, on like crossing the streets, and then at one point we actually did see 2 of them. But it was a beautiful night. It was super, super cold, but it was so beautiful. It was like the snow was glittering. It was almost like snow spikes on top of the snow. It was just magical, absolutely magical evening in that sense. So yeah, that evening and that weekend, it was super fun. It was very inspiring. I actually came from there as well. I was gifted another pattern. Come to think of it, I was gifted the pattern called Stripes by Ravelry. So that is something I'm seeing myself making in the near future as well. I have picked out colors, but not 100% sure if this is what I'm landing on, if this is what I'm going with, or if I'm gonna make any changes to that. So I will introduce you to the plans as I go, instead of like dragging everything out now. But yeah, that was a wonderful evening. It was wonderful to spend time with these beautiful knitters, getting to know a new person and adding a new knitter in my life. Very grateful for that. So hi Antove, if you're watching. It was fun to get to know you more. And what else? Yeah, I've had some knit nights with my friends that are like that were friends before we became knitting friends, because they started knitting more after we got to know each other. So I've enjoyed their company. And oh yeah, actually the knit night we had, it was more like I was helping one of my friends getting started with the soy sweater, which I've knitted a while back, which is it by Anna Strandberg? I might be wrong. But yeah, they are knitting that as well now, so I just needed to help them a little bit with their neck shaping, because this is something they haven't done a lot before, and they really wanted to do this time and not skip them. So yeah, I've had some nice knitting times with beautiful knitters, both knitters that are very experienced and many knitters are more beginners or intermediate, and I find it to be just as fun both ways, because they give different things, different views at knitting, which I always find fascinating. So yeah. What else? Is there anything else? I don't think so. I think this is a good place to say goodbye. And once again, thank you very much if you made it this far. And I do hope you're having a wonderful start of this year, that you have a lot of beautiful projects either planned or on your needles. And come and join me in enjoying your stash by making use of the beautiful yarn that you have, by knitting from your beautiful patterns that you have. And yeah, let's keep on inspiring each other and supporting each other and lifting everybody up, because I'm quite sure most of us, we just want the best for each and every one. And yeah, I'm wishing you a wonderful rest of the winter and a lot of knitting time to you. And I hope to see you soon. Until then, lots of love. Bye.